Yeah, I think we gave them a massive start in both halves, and it made it really hard for us to claw that back. And even at the end, we should have put the ball over the try line and scored, but it doesn't make up for what we, what sort of position we put ourselves in. Defence was pretty poor, really, all round, and we knew we'd come for a tough game, and we got one, but we didn't do ourselves any favours, and I don't think our discipline was good again. We're giving too many penalties away, and some of our skills not there. But we can't give teams a start, and that's what we seem to be doing week in, week out up until last week. But it's pretty disappointing. The boys are pretty disappointed there as well, and they will be going into next week because we've got to fix a lot of things up.
And can you explain the start to those halves? Because the first 15 minutes of the first half conceded 18 points. First 10 minutes of the second half, 10 points again. Not
really, no. But we've got to be able to come up with an answer during the week. So, I've got my ideas. I'm not going to share them on the radio. But we've got some issues to fix up. We've got no excuses really. The Rochdale came to us and we didn't handle it very well. So the team who we put out didn't do the job, and we'll fix that up during the week and hopefully get it right next week.
And did you realistically have any options on the team you put out, Andy? Because 5 changes again, but I think 4 of those were probably people going back to their parent clubs after loans had finished and dual registers. So tough on numbers at the moment.
Yeah, it is. We're really down on forwards. We're not doing bad in the back line, but that was the 17 today we had, and we had Luke Teasdale as 18th man, and that was our squad to pick from really this week. So we had a good enough squad to come here and do a job, and I thought we should have done really, and that's my disappointment. Some of the players who played didn't do themselves justice. We're talking about the pride in the shirt for Featherstone, and you've got to earn it, and when you do earn it, you've got to keep it and respect the jersey you're playing in. But I'm not sure some of the players did that today.
The team did show some spirit coming back from 18-0 down to level it at half-time 18-all, and then after 71 minutes took the lead from an Ian Hardman try. Did you think the game was won at that point, Andy?
I didn't think it was won, because every time Rochdale got in our half it was getting quite nervy. So I thought we still had a long way to go, and we needed to get the ball, and we need to show some patience and some composure, which we've not seemed to have been doing lately. And even at that point then, and they scored again, we still had a chance to win the game, probably a couple of chances, but just lacking a little bit of composure, and we just can't get that sort of vital score and get the team together enough to have the confidence within each other really in the group at the minute.
And Ben Blackmore, Andy, come off injured, boot was straight off. It looked like he thought he might have known what he'd done. The ice was straight on it. Any news on that injury, or any more injuries as well?
I haven't got any news on it. I know he's done something to his leg or his ankle or his foot. I'm not sure, to be fair. I know he took his boot off. He's quite dramatic when he went down, wasn't he? But he's done something serious. I don't think he'd go down for nothing. He's a tough kid, so we'll find out more probably today and tomorrow. And then Kyle Trout as well. He didn't know where he was when he came off at half time, so we had no choice but to take him off and leave him on the bench. So it's if it had been in the second half, he'd have carried on playing, and he did 40 minutes straight and looked one of the best players there. But because of the new rules, and we've got to look after the players' welfare, we took him from the field and didn't use him again. So that left us with a 2-man bench really, which one of those was a winger when we went into the game. So it was tough, but I still think we should have won the game, and we didn't deserve to win the game, but we had a team good enough to win the game.
What account against you is 8-4, I believe. Was that indiscipline you can sort out?
Yeah, some of it. I'm not sure. We seem to be getting pinged for high shots, and the other team don't. So I'm not sure that's always something you can sort out. But we've got to sort out, obviously, our discipline and our composure. I think we think we can score on every set, and we're not, and we can't. So on the back of that, we also need to defend a couple of sets back to back as well and keep teams out. So at the minute we need to do a fair bit of work, and composure is one of them, and disciplines are within that as well.
Was there a reason why Jason Cook's got the shout over Will Sharp today for starting?
Not really. Just I want to roll them round, and I spoke to all 3 of them last week and the week before, that there's 3 good wingers within the club and 2 places, so we're going to move them around a little bit, and it's up to them to do the best job, and we'll work out within the next few weeks who's the two starting wingers are. So Will was sitting on the bench just for cover really. The idea was to put Hardman into the middle and Mendika at full back and Sharpie on the wing and Blackmore in the centre, but that lasted for about 2 minutes and that all had to change back. So again, it disrupted us a little bit, but we've got some versatility in the squad, and injuries aren't helping us. Loan players going back, and at the time we were planning for having those players in long term and releasing some of our own players on loan, and now we've got caught out in the middle of that and we've got no players left. So it's going to be a tough job next week getting the bodies back, but hopefully we'll have some back from injury as well.
And what about the dual reg situation with Wakefield, because Samet and Seika weren't in the team today? What's happening there? Yeah,
Samet, they wouldn't let us play him this week for their reasons and their choices, but Harry was sort of made a decision on between me and him. I don't think he's fully fit, 100% fit, so I just questioned him and he sort of agreed with it a little bit. So we've got to get to the bottom of that before he plays again, but he's still on loan with us really, Saika, so he could have played today.
So was it the manning which we considered the choice which was most disappointing? A couple of magic moments from Millard, but many of them just trudging it over from short distance really.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think we just let soft tries in week out. So there was probably one decent try last week with a flick pass on the inside, which we still should have covered up. But I think we're clocking off on a number of plays. We get a couple of good things and a couple of bad things, and we need to fix it up. And the players are aware of it. It's just a little bit of attitude and a little bit of game awareness, but we'll fix it up.
There were some calls midweek for one of the younger lads to get a go. Sean Pickett got his chance today. Just a word on his performance.
I thought he did okay, Sean. He looked to be struggling at the pace and the physicality of it at one point, but he didn't do anything wrong. He performed quite well. I know he dropped the ball near the end, but I wouldn't blame him on that. I think it's more to do with Andy Kane's pass. So I thought he did a decent job for us, and Teasdale was close as well. He was on the bench, 18th man, and we are going to have to use some of these young guys, and they've got to be ready, and I think those two are. Beyond that, we're not sure yet. No one's been tested below that in the 20s level, so we'll have to wait and see. Hopefully we're not dipping in too far.